How compatible are Dan and Jaekyung based on their zodiac signs? So now that we know that Dan is a Capricorn and that Jaekyung is a Gemini slash Cancer, there's a few things that we can predict based on their signs alone. First things first, obviously, Dan is such a Capricorn. He's such a hard worker. He likes getting things done on his own and he doesn't like asking for help. We saw this based on how he handled everything that happened at his old job and how he handled everything with his grandma and the loan sharks and how hard it was for him to accept Jaekyung's help. Jaekyung is officially a Gemini, but he does happen to be at the cusp, which makes his sun sign a little bit more complex than other people's. Because he does exhibit a lot of the Gemini and air sign traits, but he can sometimes have emotional moments through his Cancer side too. For example, his emotional state shifts from positive to negative really fast. But he's also very calculating and intelligent, and he doesn't take a step without thinking of the consequences first. And he can show empathy and sympathize for people when he wants to, just like he does for Dan's grandmother. Now, I strongly believe that Jaekyung definitely has a Virgo rising because the way he comes across to the rest of the world is as someone that's very goal-oriented and driven and who's not willing to get distracted by anything. And I think out of the 3 earth signs, I think Virgo is the one that mostly correlates with all of these traits. Now, Dan is very compassionate, very kind, and very helpful, very motherly, if you will, especially to Jaekyung. So I'm thinking that he might have a Cancer moon or a Cancer rising in his chart, because that's how he come across to the rest of the world. So I think that Dan is a Capricorn sun, Taurus moon, and Cancer rising. So I think Jaekyung is a Gemini sun, a Pisces moon, and a Virgo rising. Either way, these two are going to struggle a lot in the relationship, but everything happens for a reason and they will come together in the end.